And one of the things that I always like to share is that, I was introduced to Narcotics Anonymous as a 12-step program, and that program introduced me to a sponsor. And then the sponsor introduced me to the 12 steps. And I always say the 12 steps introduced me to the God of my understanding. So when I grew up, I grew up in a Catholic church. The only thing I knew about God was I went to church every Sunday and on Wednesday during holidays. And I didn't never know. I went to CCD when I was a kid. I never had a relationship with God. I didn't know what God meant to me until I worked the steps and I asked God to take care of me and I made a commitment to be a part of what God wanted for me. One of the things that we talk about is looking what God's will for me is and having the power to carry that out. And I know without that belief that God is caring for me, none of this stuff possible. Being there for my kids and being there for myself and taking care of myself, when I get sick and have all these health issues. If I didn't have a relationship with the God that I believe in, none of it's possible. And it's like you're giving God the control, not the control of your life, but the belief that He's going to lead you in the direction you need to go. It's just so powerful. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Being in His will is the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I talk to my kids about living in God's will and God's grace and what it means to me, and just hoping one day that I'll be asked, how did I get that? How did I get there? And be available for Him and not when I was a kid, it was everybody around me would always say these different things about God and Jesus and all that, and I never understood it. But I know for me today, I'm a living example of what God can do for you, and that's more powerful than anything I can say.